Imagine giving everything for your city, carrying the whole franchise on your back, and taking all the media pressure every single night, only to see your own billionaire owner roll out the red carpet for your biggest enemy. Today, we are revealing a scandal that is ripping a franchise apart from the inside and showing the dark side of pro basketball. The WNBA is not just about what happens on the court anymore. It has turned into a brutal, hard-hearted game of corporate greed, locker room jealousy, and shocking, unforgivable disrespect. For years, this league begged the world to notice it. They asked for the spotlight. Well, the spotlight is finally here, shining brighter than a supernova, and it is completely blinding the people in charge. Right in the middle of this huge cultural shakeup are two names that have changed the sports world forever: Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But if you think this video is only about their rivalry on the court, you are very wrong. We found reports saying the Chicago Sky ownership is making special, never seen before, and highly controversial plans just to please Caitlin Clark. Yes, you heard that right. They are bowing to the rival. They are leaving their own once-in-a-generation superstar, the rookie who saved their franchise, totally disrespected in her own house. And while Chicago chases the money, Team USA just made one of the most arrogant and self-destructive mistakes in sports history, leading to a total ratings disaster. If you thought WNBA drama was wild before, you have not seen anything yet. Let's reveal the truth.
In Phoenix, Arizona, is pretty dead. There's no interest without Caitlin Clark around. We got to break this thing down, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video.
Let's get right into it. Let's make one thing clear right now. And let's not soften it. Angel Reese saved the Chicago Sky from becoming completely irrelevant when she was drafted out of LSU. She did not just bring elite rebounding and non-stop energy to the Windy City. She brought a full cultural movement. The Chai Barbie took a forgotten, struggling franchise and almost by herself turned it into primetime, must-watch TV. She accepted the villain role when the media tried to label her that way. She took the blows. She handled the unmatched online hate. And through all of it, she gave the city of Chicago a level of swagger and power they had not seen since the golden age of basketball. You would think in simple logic that any front office with even half a brain would build a wall around a player like that. You would think they would protect her, lift up her brand, and make her feel like the clear queen of the organization. Instead, the ownership gave the keys to the castle straight to the invading army. Behind closed doors, Chicago Sky ownership reportedly started setting up special treatment only for the arrival of Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. We are talking about VIP treatment, push ticket plans, and arena changes made fully, 100% to cash in on the hype around a rival player. This is not just bad sports management, it is a deep, unforgivable insult. You do not invite the enemy into your home. Give them the master bedroom and tell your own star to sleep on the couch.
Scheduled. The two rival squads are set to meet 3 times this season. This is not a rivalry. This is literally a beatdown. Every time the Indiana Fever sees Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, they've won 1 game in 2 years out of like 9 matchups. This is not a rivalry. This is nothing more than someone who has found.
You have to ask yourself, why would any team choose to betray the player who matters most to the franchise? Why would a billionaire owner look at Angel Reese, a player who gives her heart and soul to the city, and decide to make her a side character in her own arena? The answer is painfully simple, and it shows the ugliest side of pro sports. Cold, hard, undeniable money. The thing called the Caitlin Clark effect has turned pro women's basketball into a modern gold rush, and owners are losing their minds and their values trying to cash in before the bubble pops. Caitlin Clark is not just a rookie point guard anymore. She is a walking, breathing ATM. She is like an economic boost all by herself. When the Indiana Fever come to town, the money around the whole local economy explodes overnight. Ticket prices on the resale market do not just double, they jump by 1,000%. Arenas that usually struggle to fill seats on a Tuesday night are suddenly packed to the top, with thousands of screaming fans lined up around the building hours before tip-off. Merchandise stands are wiped out before the first quarter is even over. The Chicago Sky front office looked at the numbers, saw millions of dollars in possible revenue staring back at them, and made a ruthless, cold-blooded choice. They decided that making the most profit for one single night mattered more than the dignity, respect, and long-term loyalty of Angel Reese. They sold out their own player for a fast paycheck. It is corporate greed at its worst. And while it may make the ownership group richer today, it is actively poisoning the culture, the trust, and the soul of their team for years to come.
Celebrations. The Sky announced their theme game lineup in an Instagram post. Our 2026 theme games are here. Okay, here it says the Sky's slate features several notable themes this year. Pride, Women's Cancer Awareness, Marvel Superhero Day are among the highlights. They have clearly canceled Barbie night.
Angel Reese is no longer. Block share now. I want you to put yourself in Angel Reese's shoes for just a moment. Imagine the mental battle she is going through right now. Since her college days, the media has watched every single move she makes, every gesture, and every word. Opposing fan bases attack her non-stop on social media, picking apart her game with a level of nastiness that is honestly tiring just to see. She uses that hate as fuel. She goes out every night and battles in the paint, taking hard hits, fighting for every single rebound to help Chicago win. And now, after fighting the media, fighting the fans, and fighting the other teams, she realizes she also has to fight her own bosses. The very people paying her are actively putting the woman she has been fiercely battling for 2 years first. How does a head coach look players in the eye in the locker room and demand loyalty, hustle, and sacrifice when the ownership just showed that loyalty can be bought and sold? The message sent to the locker room is loud, clear, and crushing. We love you, Angel, but we love Caitlin Clark's audience money a lot more. It creates a toxic, broken environment. No player, no matter how mentally strong they are, should have to battle opponents on the court and their own billionaire owners in the front office at the exact same time. It is a huge double standard, and it proves that the WNBA leadership has no idea how to handle the superstars they have been lucky enough to have.
Overwhelming demand by Clark's arrival. Nobody else. Due to the overwhelming demand by driven by Clark's arrival, the game moved to the Chicago Bulls home court. The Sky designated that matchup as their Shy Neighborhoods themed game. Full details have not been yet.
But the sad and almost laughable part of this whole situation does not end in Chicago. While the Chicago Sky gave up their pride, their dignity, and the spirit of their locker room for a pile of money, the United States Olympic Committee chose to go in the complete opposite direction, and it exploded in their faces in the most shocking and embarrassing way possible. If the Chicago Sky ownership was ruled by pure corporate greed, Team USA was ruled by pure, unchecked, blinding arrogance. When it was time to build the Olympic roster for the Paris Games, the selection committee was handed a golden chance by the basketball gods. They had the chance to put Caitlin Clark, the biggest attraction in the history of the sport, a player who brings millions of new, excited fans to the TV screen, on the biggest world stage there is. They had the opportunity to use the Olympics like a rocket ship to spread women's basketball across the world. Instead, they slammed the door right in her face. They left the most famous female athlete in America sitting at home, and the excuses they gave the public were an insulting mix of corporate talk and old-school gatekeeping. They talked about roster fit. They talked about veteran leadership. They strongly suggested that the international game might be too physical for a rookie, completely ignoring that Clark was already breaking records and tearing apart pro defenses night after night. But let's call it what it really was. Ego. The old guard of the WNBA, the veterans who played for years in half-empty arenas, simply did not want to share the Olympic spotlight with a rookie. They wanted to keep the old order in place. They believed the Team USA brand could not be touched, that it was bigger than any single player. They were about to learn a very painful and very costly lesson about how modern sports business really works.
There has been a noticeable drop-off in the engagement, the viewership, and everything associated with Women's Team USA since Caitlin Clark is not at camp.
The selection committee thought fans would just watch without questioning anything because of patriotism. They badly misread the modern sports fan. The fans did not just disagree with Team USA's decision. They carried out a huge, clear, and harsh boycott. The casual audience, the same millions of new fans who brought life, money, and meaning back to this sport over the last 2 years, looked at a Team USA roster without Caitlin Clark, shrugged, and simply turned off their TVs. The viewership for the exhibition games before the Olympics was an absolute disaster. The ratings fell apart. We are talking about historically embarrassing numbers for a team that is supposed to show the very best of basketball. It was a total humiliation for the selection committee, and the whole world got to see it. They realized far too late that this new generation of basketball fans is not deeply loyal to the WNBA shield. They are not deeply loyal to the Team USA logo. They are loyal to the superstar. Period. When you take the main character out of a blockbuster movie, the audience wants their money back and walks out of the theater. The establishment gave up millions of viewers. They gave up global brand growth, and they gave up huge amounts of money that cannot even be fully measured, all to protect the fragile egos of veteran players and teach a rookie a lesson about waiting her turn.
It's, it's all of us, not one person. No, it's not. No, it's not, man. People aren't even paying attention to this Team USA stuff like they were when Caitlin Clark was there. And that it just goes to show you who drives the interest and the just everything for women's basketball. We do have Sabrina.
We are watching a historic moment of truth happen right now. The WNBA is pulling itself apart, trying to figure out how to handle the huge explosion of attention that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have brought to the league. And so far, the people in charge are doing a terrible job. We have seen the worst possible outcomes happen at the same time. On one side, we saw the Chicago Sky shamelessly sell out their own star player, deeply disrespecting Angel Reese just to grab a few small pieces from the Caitlin Clark money train. On the other side, we saw Team USA hurt its own viewership on purpose, pushing away millions of fans, just to protect a broken, outdated system. Both groups failed, but they failed for very different reasons. Still, one big truth has risen out of all this drama. The power in women's basketball no longer belongs to billionaire owners sitting in luxury suites. And it definitely does not belong to arrogant selection committees making choices behind closed doors. The power belongs to the players, and the power belongs to you, the fans. You are the ones who vote with your time. You vote with your money. You vote with your remote controls. Angel Reese is not going to forget this betrayal. She is going to use every bit of this disrespect as rocket fuel to control the paint and prove her front office wrong. And Caitlin Clark is going to keep hitting shots from the logo, forcing the multi-billion-dollar industry to rewrite its own rulebook just to keep up with her. The old days are over, and the new era is completely ruthless. The real question is, where do you stand in all of this? Is the Chicago Sky owner a smart businessman for maximizing profits? Or is he a complete traitor for stabbing Angel Reese in the back? And did the Team USA Olympic Committee get exactly what it deserved when its TV ratings crashed? I want to hear your honest, unfiltered thoughts. Speak up in the comments section below right now because I read every single one of them. Do not forget to smash that like button, subscribe to WNBA Pro, and turn on those bell notifications so you never miss an update on the wildest, most explosive stories in sports. The drama is far from over, and we are only getting started.